Hi, parents. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of our chat show. So, this morning we'll be continuing from where we stopped last week, and we'll be looking at the topic, the effect of technology on children. So, today I'm having on one of our speakers. We all know her by now, Adenike Wealthy. So, she's one of our Blessing Glorious Christian Children family, and she's an author and of course, she's the CEO of TM Global Gem School in Nigeria. So today she has come to bless us on the topic we'll be discussing further on what are the age restriction of children on access to the internet, and is it okay, for the our teenagers to be exposed to social media and so on. So she'll be talking on that. So I hope this session bless you. So over to you, Ma. How are you, Ma? Good to see you again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Thanks for
so much,
coming.
Student Heritage, for having me again. I'm so excited. Thanks for the privilege. I
Thank
really do
you.
appreciate it. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
today I'm Adenike Weldy, as she has rightly introduced. So today we'll continue our topic on the effect of technology on children. Effect of technology on children. And under this topic, I have one or two questions that I will answer myself. Okay, so and these are questions that I know are on the heart of parents. They want answers to it. They want to know, they want to know the answers to this. All right. So technology and social media has its positive and negative effect on the children. Of course, we know that it has positive effect on the children because it enhances their audiovisual learning for children that are younger, and for grown children, it exposes them to a whole world of experience. It exposes them to science, to so many things positively now. Okay, so we know that technology and social media have its positive impact. Okay, okay, so while it has its positive impact, I would also like to talk about its negative impact. Okay, so technology for children who are age 0 to 3, I would say it's a no. Technology, okay? Because children in this age group, what they need more external and physical stimulation. They need more physical interaction to develop. At this stage, their brains are still developing. So instead of visual or audio interaction with technology, what they need more is physical interaction. These children need physical interaction. Now, consider a child whose parents will read. Consider the brain of a child whose parent will rather read stories to this child hearing, and a child whose parents will expose and allow, to stay before videos, technology, watching videos and all of that. If you look at the brain of these two children, the child whose parent will sit down to read to them would have been able to develop the cognitive skill, that's the thinking skill, would be able to develop social skill, the social skill of interaction, the social skill of understanding people's body language. And then this child would also have developed the thinking skill, sensorial skill. The child is able to imagine the story that is being read to him or her. So the child's sense of imagination is being developed. The child is able to imagine things. But a child whose technology has presented everything to the child already. So the child is doing little or nothing with the brain. The child is really not thinking, using the cognitive skill at all. That's one negative effect, of early exposure to technology in children. The age 0 to 3 is actually a very critical brain formation stage in children's life, that it needs more of physical interaction to develop properly than technology interaction. Okay? All right. So apart from that, one of the questions that I know that parents usually ask, they will say, okay, is it okay to give children access to technology and social media? And if it is okay, at what age is it right and all of that? All right. I personally would say I wouldn't like to combine these two together. I would like to separate them. For technology, it's okay to give your child access to technology from age 3 and above. From age 3 and below, I would advise little, very, very minimal or no technology access at all. Why? Because of what I mentioned earlier, to help the child sense of interaction, to develop the child's social skill, and what have you. Okay, but from age 3 and above, I mean, it's okay. It's very okay. Even the AAP, that's the American Academic Pediatrics, recommend age 2 and above. But I personally, from experience working with children, I would recommend age 3, and above. Then for social media, whoa, for social media, of course, we know that for that age range, it's a no. Personally, I would recommend age 14. From age 14, children can begin to have access to social media. Why is it that we can't allow our children to have access, the age restrictions that parents should give to allowing their children to access social media should be 14. Once the child is 14, then I think it's okay. Okay, because this is because children below 14 years of age, they still have their brain developing. And so they are still very, very sensitive to rejection and acceptance. So a child who still has his brain developing towards acceptance, rejection, and what have you, and you now expose that child, because when they are exposed to social media, there is what they have access to is unlimited. They will have access not just to material things, but they will also have access to different human beings. That's where you get, they experience a lot of cyberbullying. They experience a lot of, they come in contact with predators. That's where, identity thefts is being carried out, a whole lot of things that they are exposed to. And they can also be exposed to different sexual immoralities negatively, a whole lot that these children can be exposed to, even right in the comfort of their room, when you don't even know what they are doing or what they are not doing. Okay, so the number one reason why I would say that children should be 14 years and above before they have access, before parents give them access to social media, is because their brain is still developing. Their sense of acceptance and rejection is still developing when they are below that age. And you don't want to tamper with that child's self-esteem. You don't want to tamper with that child's sense of moral, sense of value that you have been trying hard to build. Because at that age, I believe strongly that before that age, you are doing a whole lot of building up of your children's value. So I'm sure you wouldn't have done so much, you don't have done so much below age 14. But once the children are now 14, you as a parent who has been intentional will know that at this age, I have actually impacted a lot of values into my child. I have actually worked with my child so much that my child's sense of self-esteem has gotten to a point where an outsider cannot just come and punch it on the social media and thereby affecting the child. Okay, so that's why even as parents, we must be intentional. So if you have put in what you're supposed to put into your child in terms of social, in terms of moral, in terms of a whole lot of things before the child gets to the age 14, then if you are allowing your child access to social media at the age of 14 and above, you have some level of confidence. However, the access you are giving to the child at the age of 14 is a controlled one. It's not just an unlimited access. The access you are giving to your child at age 14 should be a controlled one. It should be a controlled access. And when I say controlled access, I mean controlled in terms of content and control in terms of time. Two things. Control in terms of content and control in terms of time, the number of hours they spend on using their technology and being on social media. Okay, so control in terms of content, there are a whole lot of, because if you are allowing your child access to social media or to technology, I believe that these are gadgets or materials that you will get for them by yourself. So you should have, put it in a way, ensure that he has parental control, he has parental guide, to ensure that your children are not off course. You have to ensure that. And then I'm not an advocate of children privacy or what have you. No, that's my personal opinion. I am not an advocate of it because it's a very dangerous zone to tread. You can't give them all of their privacy. While you allow them some level of privacy, you should also let them know that once in a while there will be a check. You should check once in a while what your children is up to. And then you yourself must be an engaging parent. You must be a tech parent. If you have not been a tech parent, this is the time to become one. Because if you don't even know what is going on the social media, you must be a tech parent and you must be a social media person. You might not be fully 100% a social media person, but you must have an idea what is going on. Get on Twitter, get on Facebook yourself, get on Instagram, get on all the social media platforms. Then your child must be your friend on all of those platforms. So you know what is going on with your child. In fact, you even know the things that are obtainable in that place so that you can know what to guard your child against. So that you can know in what dimension to begin to talk to your child. At that point, your child now has a good sense of value. So you can discuss with your child, you can interact with your child, you know topics to actually open up with your child to talk about, such that the children by themselves are able to make a well-informed decision when they are faced with taking a decision that could tamper with the values you've been building over years or that could help it further. They themselves are able to know and make a positive decision for themselves. And then if you are the kind of parents who have given your children unlimited access to technology and social media before now, I mean, maybe this is the first time you are hearing this, you can't just say, oh, I want to withdraw my child's access to social media and technology without replacing it with something else. No, you must replace it with something else. For instance, if your child has unlimited access to social media and technology, I would recommend maybe 2 hours. 2 hours daily, I think is fine, because it must not affect every other thing. Your child must have physical access, physical contact with real human beings, because research has shown that children who are more committed, who are more engrossed with technology and social media, these days they have lost that sense of empathy. They have lost the sense. They have lost the sense to even understand, to reach, observe, and understand the impact their words is having on the other person they are discussing with. Why? Because they are just behind the screen doing typing, and then the other person is behind the screen typing. They can't even read or observe the impacts, either positive or negative, that their words or the things they are discussing is having on the other person. And so they become children, or they grow up to be adults that don't have empathy. They grow up to be adults that don't even understand body language, and all of that. Okay, so you must be able to balance it. While your children have access to social media and technology, they must also have equal or more in physical interaction with human being. In fact, more interaction with human being, so that these things can be developed in them as they grow up. It can be developing them. And by the time you are restricting your children access to social media to 2 hours daily, you must also occupy them with something else, because children have got energy in them. This energy needs to be channeled to something. If you don't channel it to something, you will just be deceiving yourself as a parent. They will find other negative ways to channel this energy, especially teenagers. So you can't say don't access social media just 2 hours daily and then you're not doing other things. You must register them. Do something like register them in a Bible club, register them in a music school, football games. Let them channel their energy towards something else. So when they do this, they're football, games, music, and what have you, they are interacting with other human beings. At the same time, they are adding value to themselves that will be useful to them in life. So when this is, inculcated into their daily or weekly activities, then you have every right as a parent to say, okay, I want to reduce visual time. But you can't just reduce it without replacing it with something else, because that energy definitely needs to be channeled to something else. Okay, so what do I have again for parent? I think I talked about the age already. I talked about the restrictions. And so in conclusion, I would just say that we as parents must make it a point of duty to protect our children. If as parents you would protect your children from viruses, from predators and dangers, then I think, much more than that, we must make it our primary call to protect the minds of our children from the evil, that seek to seduce them on social media, that attracts them on social media. And it doesn't just start at that point when you want to allow them access social media. It starts from way back. It starts from when they were young, when you've been building values into them, you've been building their self-esteem, you've been letting them understand what value system is and all of that. That's actually the best way. It doesn't start on that very spot. And if you are just starting yours, when at the point you're introducing them, then that means you have more work to do. You don't have to regret that, but it simply means you have more work to do. You have to be more involved now. You have to be more engaging now as a parent in your child's life. And with this, I believe, and with the guide and the help of God, I believe that we will build God-rated children, even in this perverse generation. Thank you so
Amen.
much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so blessed with that session. Oh my God. In fact, I have jot and jot and jot. God bless you. God bless you for your time. You've always been a blessing, honestly, to us, and we really appreciate that. So, parents, we've had a lot, from our amazing woman of God, Adenike Weldy. So, and yeah, I've been able to summarize some of the things she mentioned. So I'll quickly recap it. So, but we should find time to watch this video again and again, so that we'll be able to apply, all the relevant information there. So, Ms. Adenike Weldy has advised that is a no technology is a no for children in age category 0 to 3. So if our children are below 3, is a no for them. And also she mentioned that for the age 3 and above, then technology is okay. And having said that age 3 and above is a no for social media. So we shouldn't give them access to social media, except maybe when they are in age 14, which is still okay. And when she said it's okay for age 14, she also mentioned that meanwhile we need to ensure that we are controlling their access, that they should have a controlled access to social media in terms of content and time. Because what happened is when we expose them to to the internet, especially social media, they tend to get unlimited access to inappropriate content, and also different personalities and image. So some of our children, they build their personality from people they get exposed to. So we need to be watchful. She said a lot, and she has summarized it that we need to protect our children. Parent is important that we protect our children. And if we've been, probably um unaware, we've mistakenly given our children undiluted, unlimited access, to internet, then where we need to reduce it. We need to reduce their access at least 2 hours. We mean the teenagers, from age 14, to 2 hours per day. And we should ensure that because if we've already made that error, we've made that mistake, so it's not our children's fault, that they've been exposed. So we shouldn't just stop them that, okay, you can't use internet again. No, because they've been used to that. So it means that we have a lot of work to do. So like she has proposed that probably 2 hours a day, to the internet. And then we ourselves, we need to be all parents, whether you've exposed or not, expose your children to internet. We need to be tech aware. So we need to be aware, we need to be invoke, we need to know what's happening in the world, so that yeah, we know things before it happens, so that we'll be able to safeguard our children. And in a nutshell, parents, we need to be engaging as well. We need to engage there. We need to shine it, because she mentioned something about the teenagers. They have this energy, they have this passion. We need to shine it towards something. Okay, we can't just say, okay, leave the internet, and then no, we need to. If not, then we're going to. It's just going to be even worse, because they are going to improvise another method, another way, of accessing the internet without our. So we need to be aware of that. And luckily for we who have not put our children out there, so yeah, that we have work to do as well. We need to ensure that we configure their device, so that uh, they, they have control access, to the world, to the internet. So I will just end it there. So thank you so much, parent, for your time on this morning. Thank you, for watching us, and we pray this video bless you, and we wish you a very lovely week ahead. Take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.